Welcome to the Fuzz Buzz, the podcast that dives headfirst into the gritty and gripping world of first responders. From military heroes to our courageous police force, brave firefighters, dedicated EMS professionals, compassionate nurses, diligent correction officers, and the unsung heroes of dispatchers. We're covering it all. Get ready for a no-nonsense, no-holds-barred conversation with your hosts, bringing over 45 years of combined experience from the heart of a bustling city. Retired Police Lieutenant Jessica Taylor and her co-host, the one and only retired Motors Officer, Mike Gonzalez. These two are fearless in tackling any subject, and we mean any. From street smarts to office politics, they'll keep you on your toes, juggling your professional and personal life like a pro. Now, let's be clear, folks. There's no BS here. Jessica and Mike aren't just your average cops turned podcasters. They're sharp, witty, and edgy, with opinions that are all their own, and they certainly don't represent anyone else or their organizations. So, fasten your seatbelts, because the Fuzz Buzz is here to give you the unfiltered truth about life behind the badge and beyond. Are you ready?
Hi, it's code for 148 North St. Andrews. File heard not safe.
Then let's roll.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fuzz Buzz. I am Jessica Taylor, retired lieutenant.
And I am Mike Gonzalez, retired Motors Officer and just all-around police officer.
Yeah.
No promotion.
So, how was our night last night?
It was a trying.
It was pretty shitty, wasn't it?
Well, literally, I mean, we had poo accidents from our puppies that just turned 5 months. But it's the first time that they've pooed in the bedroom. So on carpet. So
yeah,
not fun.
No, it wasn't fun. Both of our shoulders are killing us. My left one and his right one. And so it's just been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah. And I think I was just exhausted from the night before because we got zero sleep. The puppy speed racing all over the house.
Yeah.
Might have missed some cues for them needing to go out.
Yeah, totally possible. So today we're going to cover a couple global issues, national issues, some police video. What else do we have up here? We have, of course, some Seattle issues, and then a little humor to close us out. So
Lord knows Seattle has a lot of issues. So.
Yeah. So they lie to you about everything. And here's just one example of it.
I wanted to ask you
wouldn't
about
put people in prison,
no,
except for a very good reason, and they
talk about the
put
truth.
him in prison.
Talk about the truth being illegal. Look at he's paid for it with dozens of people.
Well, Assange has never been accused of lying, or of fraud, or of making money in some criminal scheme. Assange has been accused of telling the truth. Period.
Yeah,
and they are torturing him to death in front of all of us. No one's doing anything about it. And that Mike Pompeo is a very, very sinister person,
isn't he?
The worst. And I always thought that, and I've told Trump that. Never should have allowed him to run CIA or state. But Mike Pompeo tried to have him murdered. And that's a criminal act. He was not even charged with a crime in the United States. And Mike Pompeo was CIA director. This came out. Pompeo didn't deny it.
I never heard this.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely.
I saw it.
Oh, my God.
He tried to have Julian Assange murdered, poisoned in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. And that's a fact, okay? Wow. And it's been established. And okay?
Yes.
Why is Mike Pompeo not in prison? I saw Julian Assange in London.
I wanted to ask you.
That's crazy, right?
Oh, yeah. We've said it before. They're not even trying to cover up their lies.
They're not even trying to cover it up.
I mean, if you got somebody admitting they tried to kill somebody that's a factual thing and they're not being charged, then...
For a long time, they were able to hide it because they had so many people brainwashed. But now people are starting to see the light. Not everybody, but a lot of people are starting to see the light. And the light, all dots connect. Everything comes back to everything else. But people just see one thing, but they don't associate it with the other thing. But it's all like the climate is related to the digital currency and
everything. The globalists are controlling everything, all the way down to your general elections of city council in a small town.
Yeah, and they're
money into this stuff.
It's all related: climate, digital currency, COVID, shot. It's all related. So the latest one is what they're really big on right now is the climate. because they're having their little meeting again, right? Where they all fly their private jets over there and they get frozen on the tarmac. Yeah. So what were you telling me about Lori the other day? Lori, your cousin, about how mandatory houses have to.
Yeah. So my cousin, they're building their retirement home, and we're in the state of Washington. And apparently Governor Inslee put out some kind of order that if you build a new house, it is required that you install an electric vehicle charger in the garage, whether you have an electric vehicle or not. And so, they're talking to the permit people, or not the permit people, but the people that are going to build the house, and they instruct me, hey, here's a $1,200 expense, even though you don't have a electric car. Crazy.
That's crazy to me. That is crazy because apparently in Seattle, even if you do charge your car and your car gets stolen or they strip the wire out of your charger, the police are going to tell you that you need to stand with your car while it charges.
Yeah, that's at your personal home. She's referring to an article I saw that, the woman has a carport facing the alley and they stole her charger cord. They just cut it at the base and took the whole thing because there's supposedly copper in it. And she got victim shamed by the police saying, well, you really should be standing with your vehicle while it's charging the whole time.
It's just better not to say anything at all.
Yeah. There's been a lot of blaming the victim, instead of doing, police work and prosecuting. So,
yeah.
Oh, well.
That's
another tangent.
That's another tangent. Yeah. But so they lie about everything and, they're losing the battle with the magical juice. So they're trying to scare everybody now with this climate emergency, which, has been going on for, the scam has been going on forever, but now they're ramping it back up.
Yeah.
So here we have Peter Sweden, who is a reporter. And I don't know, you probably can't see this. So I'll just read a little bit of it to you. It says, now they're blocking the sun to stop climate change. And I know that sounds batshit crazy. Right. And everybody's thinking, right. What I'm about to tell you might sound like something a crazy and paranoid person would make up, but here we are living in a clown world that this is actually real. This isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. Well, let me introduce you to geoengineering and remember that word. You see, now they are putting toxic chemicals in the atmosphere in order to block out the sun and stop climate change. Chemtrails. Battery acid clouds. A startup company has just released a chemical called sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere in order to prevent catastrophic global warming. The company is called Make Sunsets. That's amazing. And they are working on what is called geoengineering, which is just a fancy word for manipulating the weather. What exactly is this chemical they are releasing? Sulfur dioxide is very toxic if inhaled and affects the respiratory system. It can cause severe irritation in the nose, eyes, throat, and skin. Can you guess what sulfuric acid is? It is the same thing that is in your car batteries. It is literally battery acid. So in order to save the climate, they are putting clouds of battery acid into the atmosphere. And that sounds absolutely crazy.
Well, what's even crazier? What's that old adage? What goes up must come down. So what's being brought down on us?
Well, right. And you do hear of people claiming that paint is starting to come off on their vehicles after rains, right?
Yeah.
So he starts talking about dimming the sun and everybody's like, yeah, right. Like, you can't dim the sun. Oh.
Well, you remember what was the last great scare when it came to the ozone layer, right? We have a huge hole in the ozone layer that we're just killing the earth. Have you heard anything about trying to fix the ozone layer lately? No, they just moved on to the next thing.
Yes. So you can't dim the sun. No way you can dim the sun. Oh, guess what? Our friend here, Bill Gates, has a venture to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. And this is coming from Forbes. So this isn't like coming from the New York Times or, the New York Post or something. This is coming from Forbes. And this is real. This ass is manipulating your food. He's releasing GMO mosquitoes. He's not a doctor. He runs the World Health Organization.
He's a globalist, not a scientist.
Yeah, he's trying to dim the sun, and the guy is a freaking liar, like a liar.
Remember talking about masks at all, but the two of you personally were using masks.
Yeah.
I remember you seemed like a really extreme case because you would wear the full thing when you'd leave your apartment, and it was like, is he gone overboard? Is he germphobic?
I was doing,
Hope we've learned in the last year?
Yeah, I just don't think of wearing a mask as such a deep inconvenience. I mean, we ask people to wear pants, why was this politicized? Early stage of the infection, we thought this was about coughing. We didn't know the simple masks would provide so much benefit. You get the message about masks to be a, kind of bipartisan, let's protect other people type message. And then I don't remember talking.
I think he was talking about masks.
Yep. So he is a sociopath, serial liar. And I don't believe anything that comes from this clown, and neither should you. So we're talking about geoengineering and how they're manipulating the weather. And this has been going on for decades. And people have always said, oh, you're crazy, you're batshit crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. Well,
they make it snow in the Arab countries, right? So that's part of geoengineering.
Yeah, they literally cloud seed to make it rain. And they've been doing that for a long time, but it's just recently come to the surface where they're admitting that they do it when all those cows down in Texas died, right? But they have been doing this forever. And once a week, I'm going to bring to your attention one of the many secret government operations that they have done that's completely shady. And this one for this week is Operation Popeye. Have you heard of Operation Popeye?
No, I have not heard of it until you brought it up.
Okay. Operation Popeye is also known as Project Popeye. It was a highly classified weather modification program carried out by the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War. The operation aimed to extend the monsoon season over specific areas of the Ho Chi Minh Trail in Laos to disrupt the North Vietnamese military supplies by softening the road surfaces and causing landslides. They have been doing this for so long. All of these hurricanes, one right after the other, the torrential rain, these huge boulder size hail, it's all government weather manipulation. There's a huge HAARP system up in Alaska. If you don't know about HAARP, HAARP, look it up. That'll get us kicked off of YouTube. But go ahead and look it up. It's real. All of this stuff is real, and it is all related. So dig into Operation Popeye and see what your grand old government's been up to. Because they're doing it right now in Russia, trying to freeze them out. So have you heard, Mike, about the facial recognition system in Portland?
I have not heard about it. I mean, I know they're trying to go to it and they're really trying to expand upon it. But yeah.
So this is another conspiracy theory. Oh, you're one of those. They'll never do that. Digital currency. Yeah, you're crazy. They're never going to do facial recognition so you can get into a store to buy something. They're never going to impose that kind of tyranny and control over you. Never. Okay? Never, ever. They will never do that because our government is amazing.
Please look at camera for entry.
And if you stand on the shoes and look into the spheroid, if we get the green light, that'll open the door.
It's here.
Yeah.
It is here. Wake up, friends. Have a plan, know what you're going to do, what you're willing to tolerate and what you aren't, because they are trying to control us in every way possible. That's how this is all related. It's all related. So nationally, the explosion in Virginia, what do you think?
screams cover up to me. It's just, it's that massive explosion. I mean, that's like the old movie thing, right? Where they bust the gas main and they have some kind of lit fuse in there because the whole house exploded.
To me, it's giving off Christmas Day, Nashville, Tennessee RV explosion vibes.
How so?
It just seems awfully suspect that he had just signed the paperwork on this house 2 days ago. You know, the cops were serving a warrant. I'm sure the FBI is wrapped up in it somehow, would be my guess. I mean, I'm keeping an open mind and I'm not going to draw any conclusions on it yet.
Did they ever say what the search warrant was for?
You know, no. Well, not that I've seen anyways. I mean, maybe they have, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So anyway. To that, the suspected resident is a house called the U.S., the world's biggest terrorist, accusing his neighbors of being spies just 3 days ago. James Wu, whose status is unknown, has posted a lot on his LinkedIn profile about his disdain for the government, blah, 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 blah. And that's true. He did. But so that's like not like a little explosion.
It's not like a pipe bomb in a room. It's like it leveled the house.
That would be like a gas leak kind of explosion, but it was contained to that house.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on yet. Keeping an open mind, but I don't trust it.
Like you said, he moved in 2 days ago. So you're telling me that there
and now we're already talking about spies and government and all this kind of stuff. So I don't buy it. I don't know what's up with it, but something just doesn't feel right. It's
seems real shady.
It seems super shady. So let's talk about some police video that we've recently run across. Let's talk about the NYPD knife wielding suspect. Pull that video up for you so you can take a look, see.
So that's a security guard right there. And there's the knife wielding man. What blows me away is like, look at the person on the sidewalk. The civilian.
Oh yeah, right there between the cars.
Yeah, just not even phased. Just the guy got stabbed in the torso, and she's just
like how can you not know what just happened in front of your face?
Well, that's how desensitized I think she didn't break out her phone either to record it or call the cops. All right, here's cops.
Drop the knife. No one's good. Drop the knife. I don't got to drop the knife. 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 Shots fired. Shots fired.
The partner's view.
Mm-hmm.
Drop the knife. No. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop it. Drop the knife. Shots fired. Adam 2, shots fired.
So,
you know what's really crazy about that? If you watch it, is did you see how much ground he still covered after the fired shots? They fired several rounds at him, and he still made it about 10 more feet before he fell. And people just don't understand that.
No, yeah, you know, they can close the distance very, very quickly.
Well, it just goes. I mean, my thing is, just because they're shot doesn't mean they stop.
Yeah, just because you're shot doesn't mean you're down.
And he kept going, but yeah, no. To the credit of those officers,
oh,
they
absolutely, they did an absolute. That's what I was going to say. Is they were talking to each other. They knew that it was a lethal force situation. They
clear, concise verbal commands. They weren't stepping on each other. They weren't in code black, so they're perfectly legible. And, there's sometimes they just don't want to listen. And it's unfortunate.
Yep. So I think that they did an excellent, excellent job. This next one is the one in New London PD. I think that's Massachusetts, but I'm not sure. Shooting suspect for screaming children in the hotel room. No, it's Connecticut. I'm sorry. On November 26 at approximately 1:52 p.m., New London police arrived to a report of shots fired at America's Best Value located on Bayonet Street in New London. Once at the address, police were directed to room 259. There they spoke to a witness who stated that the 42-year-old Christopher Nolan came into the room, fired around at the room's window at an unidentified party. Police also learned that Nolan had fled to an adjacent Carlson Inn hotel. So this is, let me put it up on the screen.
This one's a little hard to see because there's it's just a body camera, but yeah, you can see the window back in the right-hand corner. That window is where the suspect is, and they're giving him verbal commands.
Yeah, it's like the backlight. Would that be called backlight? Right?
Yeah, the window, the sun coming through the window with that backlight.
It's glare, sun glare.
Yeah, you can't see the suspect, but he's back there.
Which one she's talking about?
Please!
There's that sun glare.
Hands up! Come here! Come here! Put your hands up! Put your
Get the kid! Where's the gun? I think it's right here. Gun's right here. All right. Gun's right here.
Yeah, that's another amazing thing. I mean, you have unfortunate that you have a kid and an adult, victims on that bed, and the bed's between the officers and the suspects. So that's a tough decision, and they made a split-second decision. It ended well, for officers and victims. But
sometimes you're just put in those situations where it's just unavoidable. You can't leave.
No.
You've got
defending the vulnerable is morally good, but recognize it does have dangers.
I don't know.
You've got people, counting on you.
As much as they're trying to clear the room. You got kids that are confused, and it just that was a very dangerous situation for a lot of folks. And the best possible outcome, unfortunately, was a suspect down happened. Cops and victims weren't hurt. So
So over on X, we have a traffic stop where this knife wielding guy hops out of this car, and this officer's reaction time is nothing less than impressive, in my opinion.
All right, I think it's a good picture and send it to me. Who are you? Base, I just been attacked. I just shots fired. Shots fired. Don't move. All right, I think it's a good picture and send it to me. Who are you? Base, I just been attacked. I just shots fired. Shots fired.
Look at that.
Yeah. What was that? A routine traffic stop? Isn't that what they call those things? Routine.
Yeah. Is there such a thing?
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's proof positive.
I mean, would
right
you
there.
ever expect somebody to jump out with an axe?
No.
Just standing there?
No. I mean, especially it just doesn't happen, and props to that officer. I mean, basically running backwards, backpedaling, capping off rounds, but just having the, the mentality of like, okay, something's not right. Cause you can see the vehicle pulls up. It's odd that it came across the road and pulled up right next to him while he's in official capacity. That would, set me off a little bit going, what's going on here? And the guy couldn't put it in park. So, okay, well, if he's trying to put it in park, cause you saw the car kind of move, you knew something was bound to happen, but you don't expect that. And, kudos to that officer.
Yeah.
I mean, reaction time was spot on, firing while, backpedaling, which we train a little bit, but somebody's always got a hold of the back of our gun belt to make sure we don't fall. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Excellent job.
Exactly.
Excellent job. I mean, it's just something that you don't expect. I remember going to a call once and not expecting anything, just clearing a house.
Yeah.
Right. Or actually it was an apartment, but you don't expect anything. And somebody jumps out from behind the shower curtain with a butcher knife.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Sometimes we can get, what do they say, complacent, but police work's never routine, and you should never get complacent, because it's like you said, you don't know when we're clearing a house because the alarm went off and nobody's inside, when, somebody's going to be standing behind a door and hiding in a tub waiting just to attack you.
Yeah. Yeah. So here we have this Georgia traffic stop.
I'm telling you that right now. Why am I getting tased? Because you are under arrest for speeding and reckless driving. I'm not driving. Nobody was hurt. How was I speeding? You passed me doing 100 miles an hour. Okay, so that's a speeding ticket, right? Sir, tickets in the state of Georgia are criminal offenses. I don't have a ticket in Georgia. You do now. Why? You passed me doing 100 miles an hour. Offense, and what? Am I going Hands behind your back. Yes, you are going to jail. Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Stay down! Stay down! Stay down! Camden, shots fired! Shots fired, Camden! Stay down! Do not give up! Stay down!
So let's take a look at it from another angle. I think I might have one. Let me see here. Hang on.
Yeah, because that was from the body cam, so of course everything was up close and personal, so you saw a lot of wrestling going on. But yeah, that was a situation that became very deadly. And I mean,
let's see if I can pull this up. No, it's not going to play. But the bottom line is that he was choked. He tried to use his baton. He used the taser. He used his baton. The guy was choking him. And the end result was he got shot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the fact that, it's like anything else. It's like the time to argue is in court, not on the side of an interstate.
Yeah.
We were taught, ask, tell, show. And he asked, then he told him that he was under arrest. And then, of course, you got to go to the show part. And when the suspect, or the driver in this case, who became the suspect, approached him, he was well within his right to use his taser.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, he, went through some different levels of force. And once, you're getting choked and possibly getting choked out on the side of an interstate, it becomes a deadly situation.
Yeah.
Where deadly force is authorized. And, so.
And it's unfortunate, but, people make choices. So.
Yeah. That was all about the driver not wanting to go to jail. And he explained to him that, doing that here in the state of Georgia, that's an arrestable offense. And he wasn't having it. So.
Yeah. So have you seen the video of the guy that takes the one shot from 183 yards? Have you seen that?
Well,
it's an active shooter situation.
Is that the one over here in Washington State?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. This isn't
Pierce County.
I don't know where this is. But this was, I guess it could be Pierce County. I don't think I know where it is.
Yeah. If he's driving along, drinking his coffee and having the music playing, that was Pierce County.
Was it?
Yeah. Well,
You want back outside the house and then a backpack on? I think you fired on Madison. Firing on Madison. All right, be reloaded. Reloaded. Are those shots coming from the alley? I don't know.
X-ray 316. Shot fired. Suspects down.
Yeah, that was over in Pierce County here in the state of Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go back,
smooth as a freaking cucumber.
Oh yeah, I think he was like rolling up one-handed with a coffee in his hand, coming to this active shooter, and yeah, end result was bad guy down, nobody hurt.
Yeah, active shooter. So normal people, people that aren't exposed to this kind of stuff. I'm gonna guess he was probably in the military and exposed to a lot of chaos and gunfire, but his voice is just smooth. His hands weren't shaking. He gets out, grabs his rifle, one shot at 183 yards and puts the suspect down. Excellent. Yep. Excellent job.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Nope.
One shot, he was accountable for his round and
Yep. And just smooth as butter. So
yep.
Good job.
That's a big kudos there.
Yeah. Yep. The next thing I was going to show you was, do you have opinions on, did you see the OC spray incident?
Yeah. Let's show it, then I'll have my opinion. I'll share my opinion.
Okay. So there's this class of students and the teacher, it was a criminal something class, criminal investigations. I don't know.
Criminal justice.
I don't know, but they look like kids. But anyways, he sprays them with OC for extra credit.
Yeah. Let's put that out there. They willingly were sprayed for extra credit.
Yeah. So here you
Stop resisting, please comply. Stop resisting, please comply. Stop! Don't open your mouth. Stop resisting. Don't open your mouth. Let's go, Tristan. Don't open your mouth. Stop resisting. Don't open your mouth. Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Menace, but
yeah.
It's of course, for it said high school, so I'm sure they got their parents' permission to be able to do that. But it's just, I don't know. I find it unnecessary, unless there's like, what do they call those civilian police academies or something that they want to experience it. That's one thing, but for extra credit, and I think some of them over dramatize because it's an irritant. It can be painful, but it doesn't.
I respond like that to
Did you
OC
really?
spray. Yeah.
You scream like a bitch.
Yeah. Well,
did you see that one guy jumping up and down? Like,
I think my feelings on it are bad move. One, you incentivized it by, calling it extra credit or whatever. So the people that didn't want to do it don't get the credit. Well, I mean, that's how I interpret that. And then the second thing is when I was OC sprayed, I was down for the rest of the day, easy. And then it reactivated when I got in the shower. Mm-hmm. So, I just think that this is completely unnecessary on a bunch of kids. And, reading through Twitter, they're like, yay, I guess they'll never be part of Antifa now that they know how OC spray works or whatever. No, dude. No.
Yeah. I don't think it's very productive to do that in that setting, but
no,
it just,
it didn't, that doesn't.
But I don't know how it's going to bring nothing but bad publicity for that department that went through with it because it's.
I mean, I wish I knew where that was.
It was some Ohio. It said Ohio something high school in Ohio, but it just yeah, it's going to leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths who are on the fence about police officers, or they already hate them, and it's just bad optics. I
Super
feel.
bad optics, but I wouldn't be surprised if a whole bunch of parents sued after that.
It also looked like they're using the alcohol base, because did you see how it kind of left their faces yellow? So that's an alcohol base, which has a much longer lasting effect.
Yeah, I mean, it is no joke. I am that debilitated by it too.
Oh yeah, it's like you said, though. As soon as water hits it, it reactivates it.
Okay, so moving on. Let's move on to Seattle. What's going on in Seattle?
Probably another dumpster fire.
Yeah. So this is Jonathan Cho, and Jonathan Cho was out the other night. And he says, Seattle knife fight, insane encounter at Westlake Park in downtown Seattle. This footage was captured by witness, he names him, a few days ago. He is the guy in the white hoodie, started stealing items from homeless people. When confronted, he whipped out what appeared to be a knife and started charging at people. No one was stabbed, but this is the latest incident, is exactly why so many people are avoiding downtown, along with rampant open-air drug use. These maniacs and unhinged individuals are walking around like they own the city. It remains lawless.
And before you start that video, Westlake Park, to people who don't know, that's like the major park in downtown Seattle, where they did the tree lighting ceremony that got hijacked on Black Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the epicenter of the shopping.
Yes, exactly, for tourists and people from out of town coming in.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is what you
get.
Yeah, let's go downtown shopping. No.
Oh, everyone pull out knife. Yeah, you want to do that.
Jonathan's running. Anyway.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty normal occurrence in Seattle these days.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad when the homeless people are stealing from each other and they're trying to stab each other over there.
Oh my gosh. And then you see that armed security guard in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was he armed?
I think he was armed. Yeah. I think. But he's like, it's not, I'm here to protect this business.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, security guards today are given the instructions of don't get involved, don't go hands on, just call the police. So it's
that's right.
You got an armed security guard that's going, 911, can you send the real police? So they're paying them to do nothing but, call 911 like everybody else does.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about calling the real police.
We mean, if they ever show up.
So here we have Jason Rance. Jason Rance says, in November, he said, Seattle Police Department lost 10 more officers in September, bringing the total separations this year to 88. It hired 6 more recruits for a 2023 total of 56. Since 2020, SPD has lost about 600 cops. Mayor's recruitment retention plan is still largely offline. So then yesterday he posts, exclusive, 3 more officers have, so I got to pull that back up. 3 more officers have separated in November, bringing the total separations to 91 in 2023. So over 600 since 2020's defund push. The department did not hire any new officers, leaving the 2023 total at just 56 hired. The staffing is dangerously low.
Yeah. They're still losing more officers than they can hire. And I don't know why they keep using that number 600.
I mean,
it's gone up. Let's be honest.
I mean, I don't know why anybody can't be honest about it.
Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, I didn't fall off the truck yesterday, and you didn't either. And I can do simple math.
Yeah.
And, I don't know why the talking heads of, the department or the unions or the mayor's office or the city council or whatever is just shouting out this number.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to that whole thing where, we want to talk about transparency, and the department and the government's always talk about, we want to be transparent. Well, they're not being transparent about those numbers. Why don't they give them the actual numbers instead of everybody going, well, it's about, it's this, because there's a mass exodus still happening. If they're losing 30,
they still don't have a contract.
Yeah, it's still without a contract.
Yeah.
It's just, they're not being, I don't know, maybe I should do a public disclosure because they're not being transparent on those numbers.
Yeah, they're not being transparent at all. And I read an op-ed recently by a detective, and he or she, because I won't name names, said that, basically those of us that left.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You can say he or she. It doesn't matter. They put an op-ed in the Seattle Times and signed it.
Yeah. So basically kind of like those of us that left were cowardly, or that's how it came across.
Yep.
And, she was saying that they deserve to be compensated because they are the ones that stuck around and are,
Well, we've talked about this. I mean, we're paid really well to be a Seattle police officer. Not the rest of the country has basically the money and the the incentives that Seattle police officers do have. But that being said, why are you sticking around in a city that you can't do the job?
Because she's in homicide and she can sit in an office.
But it's just like you're not allowed to do the job.
Yeah.
It was causing us nothing but stress. What's going to take years off the end of your life.
Yeah. But don't even talk bad about the people that left.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. I mean, because we're like looking at going, well, you're a coward pussy for not wanting to leave. Excuse my French. Because you're like, oh, I can't live without the paycheck or the benefits.
Yeah.
Well, how many other people across this great country do live on a lesser salary? And
we're doing it right now.
Right. And we're fine. And
the city doesn't give us, we don't get paid benefits when we're gone.
Yeah. I mean, so let's just say they have 800 officers in Seattle. Well, how many people in the United States making it work other than being Seattle police officers? I think there's probably light on the other end of the tunnel. But for you to sit there and say, well, I need the benefits and the paycheck. Well, that's cool. Just be honest about it.
Yeah, just be honest about it, right? But don't sit there and lambaste the people that did leave, that chose, for all myriad of reasons on, why they left.
Which is the myriad of reasons are all personal because it wasn't beneficial to our personal lives or our health.
Mm-hmm.
And, I choose my health, and I know you did too, over working for that shithole and just being, stressed to the point that it's, you're killing yourself.
Yeah. I mean, the city is just crumbling down everywhere. And
they're still looking to try to.
When I get on LinkedIn, and it's the same ads running over and over. Have you seen them?
Oh yeah.
And you read through the comments, and there is not one positive comment.
Nobody's buying that bull.
It's like, dude, first change your recruiting strategy because that shit ain't working.
Well, that first change the,
Well, you need to change your leadership first thing.
Well, you got to get the government, the leadership, everybody to be different, because that's the biggest hang up is nobody wants to work for a communist city council or a 3 under the bus department.
No.
Sorry.
No. And then, then you're what's the definition of insanity?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Doing the same thing over and over
they
again.
They keep running the same thing over and over and over again. Clearly it's not working because Jason Rance just posted what he posted, and you don't have any positive comments under there.
Yeah, I mean,
the money is not worth it to people. When are you going to get that?
Yeah. What is it up to right now? Like $30,000 for lateral bonus. They're going to give you a $30,000 bonus if you lateral to work for Seattle. Tell me that if that doesn't just scream, oh, that's a shithole.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's begging to work there. Nobody's dying to go run into Seattle to become a cop anymore. They're like, oh, and $30,000 isn't bringing them in either.
No. I mean, the money was great. It was. Yeah. And it's very addicting, but
millions of people that are living within their means and making things work without having to deal with the crap.
You might have to move. So what?
Well, you can't. Everybody's moving out of Seattle now.
Yeah, why would you? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But thanks, you guys, for joining us again. If you haven't seen this,
Yep.
I'm going to keep pushing it. It's over on Rumble and it's free. Watch it.
A lot of truth bombs.
A lot of truth, a lot of government cover up. And that's where we're at in this country. And it's really, really scary where we're headed.
If they're going to do that in Minneapolis to a bunch of cops, the prosecutors on down, they'll do it in Seattle. They'll do it in San Francisco. They'll do it, in Chicago. Just watch your six.
Yeah. So have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Bye all.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Fuzz Buzz podcast. If you're enjoying what you've heard today, please feel free to rate, subscribe, or leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Fuzz Buzz. Y'all be good out there.